Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I'm going to be doing my TBR for the month of June. Really getting back into the swing of things. I have a pile of books here that I'm really eager to read, and actually, one of them just came in today, and I'm really excited for. I got from the publisher. It's a really nice way to like kind of start back getting into doing this more routinely. So I'm really happy to read that book. First, I'm going to actually talk about the book that I've already read, and that is No Fear, Battle Calf by Dan Abnett. This book is set in the Horus Heresy. It's book, I believe, 18 of the series, or 19, I forget which one exactly, but this one basically chronicles the Battle of Calf, which is between the 13th, is it 13th? Yeah, I think it's 13th and 17th Legions. The 13th, the Ultramarines led by Reboot Gilliman, and the Word Bearers of the 17th led by Logar. And basically, the Logar and his legion have turned traitor against the Emperor, and Gilliman's troops, or his legion, is loyal to the Emperor, and they basically do like a sneak attack on them, and this book chronicles that. So I'll talk about my thoughts on this book at the end of the month when I do my June wrap up. Next book I'm going to read is actually a book. Actually, the next two books are books that I've asked to review last year, but just didn't get around to because, well, I wasn't really in the reading mood. I'm going to go ahead and read them. Basically, mainly because I said I was going to review them, and I just feel bad having requested them and not reviewed them. So, this book is Bland Fanatics, Liberals, Race, and Empire by Pankaj Mishra. And in this book, it's a series of essays that looks at um, the intelligentsia's response to what seems to be a decline in Anglo-American influence in the world, and it's kind of in the way that some of these intellectuals harken back to the Western civilization being the best, and it has to stay the best in order for the world order to stay stable and put. And they make their arguments for that. So he argues against that and points to how things like race and like a kind of neo-imperialism have led whole countries and whole people who shouldn't be pushing these things to push these ideas. So this one has been pretty interesting. I like his essays. They're pretty short, and there's like 16 of them, I believe. They're short. They're not too long. So I really do. I'm enjoying it so far because this is actually one that I started reading. Next is Black Women, Black Love, America's War, and African American Marriage by Diane Stewart. This book, I think I said I was going to read last year, actually in a TBR, but just never got around to it. Last year, I did read the introduction. This book basically looks at marriage of African Americans in the United States, and well, because they're African Americans, but it looks at it from the time of slavery to the present, and looks at how social forces have influenced black marriages and black families, and how things like racism, slavery, and mass incarceration have affected just like marriage rates among blacks, or the success of those marriages among African Americans in America. So I thought this would be a really interesting one, and this is one that I'm going to try to finish this month and review. Next book is The Enlightenment. This is a book that I am still reading over from February. I have no idea if I'm going to finish it this month. Actually, Blind Fanatics and the Black Women, Black Love are the only two books that I kind of want to actually finish this month for sure. But this book, it may run into July. There's a lot of ideas in it. And that's The Enlightenment, The Pursuit of Happiness from 1680 to 1790 by Richie Robinson. It's 40 hours long, so I'm making my way through it. I'm halfway through it, so hopefully by July I'll be finished this book. It's possible I'll finish it in June. If I do, I'll include it in my wrap up at the end of the month. But basically, it's just going through Enlightenment ideas and what certain enlightened thinkers thought about certain things. And then the book that I'm really excited for um, and that I got in the mail today. I requested it from the publisher. Not only did they give me an e-copy, but they also sent me a physical copy of it. Is Hero of Two Worlds, the Age, the Marquis de Lafayette in the Age of Revolution by Mike Duncan. By Mike Duncan. I have the first book that he wrote. Oh, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's one of my favorite history reads. I like his podcast. So they sent me a review copy, and basically this is a biography of Lafayette. I started reading it already, because I got the e-copy first. I already started reading it, and so I look forward to see how he does with biography, because the first book was actually kind of just looking at the period before the fall of the Roman Republic, or at least what led to that period. This book is focused on one particular person and looking at how his life was influenced by the American Revolution and the French Revolution, and then there was other movements after. So I think that this would be a really good read, and I look forward to reviewing it. This comes out in like August, so I'm not in a rush to finish this, but yes, it'll definitely be a book that you see reviewed on this channel. And then this last book is actually at the beginning of the year. I said I wanted to kind of start tackling the books on my bookshelf, because there's a lot of them, and I need to read the ones that I want and then decide whether or not I want to keep them or not. So I'll show a picture up here that shows the two shelves that I'm going to start to tackle. Some of these are really big books, especially Les Mis is up there. But I'm going to try to tackle the shelves and these shelves and read them, decide if I want to keep them. If I really like them, I'll keep them. If I don't, I'll give them away. But I'm not giving myself a time frame to do this. I'm just picking up a book, and if I read it, whenever I get that book done, I get it done. And this book is going to be that book, and that's going to be America's War for the Greater Middle East, the Military History by Andrew J. Boxevich, I think his name is. But this book basically chronicles America's involvement in the Middle East since, I believe, 1980. And basically in inflap, it says that in up until like the 1980s, America hadn't lost a serviceman in the Middle East at all. And then after the 1980s, almost all of them have been in the Middle East. So why the sudden shift? And that's what this book explores, and basically gives a military history of what was going on. So I have no set date for this. I'll read it as I do, and when I finish, I'll just talk about it in the wrap up of whatever month I end up finishing it. If I finish it this month, then you'll see it at the end of this month. So that's going to be it for this video. That's my TBR for the month of June. I really am excited to get into these books. Thank you for all the supportive comments on the last video. I'll be getting to those once I put this video up. I definitely am prioritizing, myself before, reading. And so that was the reason why I took the 2 months off. Definitely making sure I prioritize my mental state over everything else. So, but thank you for all your supportive comments. What do you plan to read for the month of June? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at JustinGhostReader, which I haven't really been using, and also on Goodreads. The link to that is down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading, and Black Lives Matter.